Psalm 50. The mighty God, even the Lord, hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined. Our God shall come, and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself, Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel. And I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings, to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, but the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, and thou consentedst with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest, and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God.
Hi, Frank George.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations. Hopefully, out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, and what I want to get into this morning, dealing with a lesson going into cultural norms, all right, of lost people, okay, because as you look at the culture, so-called black culture, every culture has something what you call cultural norms, okay, we're going to get into these things, all right, and you look at so-called black culture and the cultural norms play a major part of the degenerate state that our people are in. Okay, the cultural norms of our people play a major part in the degenerate state that our people, exist in today. And we know it all derives from what? The curses. Okay, and who pretty much magnified the curses amongst our people, Esau Edom, through his enchantments. Okay, and we're gonna go into these things because Esau Edom, he has pretty much established the cultural norms amongst our people. All right, when you go from the 60s on up, all right, to today, okay, and you see the cultural norms that this man has established amongst, all right, our people. Now, I want to use this situation as a case study, all right, dealing with this young single mother in Fort Worth, Texas, and she shot and killed this 14-year-old Jake. All right, they were trying to break into her house. It was her and her 4 daughters. Now, they gonna talk about it. You have Charleston White, which, like I said, Charleston White, he's a nigga. Okay, he says he makes points on a lot of things, and then he says, things that are off as well. But he does, all right, point out a lot of BS that's within Black culture, a lot of hypocrisy that's within Black culture. He makes some valid points, and like I say, he has offended the brothers, because he said some things concerning the prophets, and then if he doesn't repent, from that, he's gonna be through. All right, but we're just using this as a case study. All right, one thing about because before you become a judge, you have to be what? A lawyer. Okay, and when you're going to be a lawyer, a lot of times they'll have you to study and examine old cases. So we're just going to use this as a case study. All right, on the surface level, dealing with the woman being justified for what she did. There was a justified kill. Okay, but then going into, okay, how did she get to that circumstance where she's a single mother with 4 children? Okay, and the father's in prison. Okay, how did it get to that point? Okay, and then that's what we're going to touch on, the cultural norms. Okay, so let this play. All right.
Here, this is the EMS foot massager. EMS is electrical muscle stimulation.
Today on a brand new episode, we have a real unique story that happened that caught my attention. And I reached out to Charleston White because I felt like the world needed to know the real story, not the story that the mainstream media is trying to, create this narrative. But we're in Fort Worth, Texas. I got Aaliyah Wallace. Nice to meet you. I got Charleston White. And we're here to just get her story on what really happened. Because when I saw it, when people sent me the link, it was this thing where people try to make her be the bad guy. And that's not the case.
Yeah, she was a single mother who was defending her home with 4 daughters, if I believe. Yes, and your oldest is 8, right?
My oldest is 9.
Is 9.
The 8-year-old was there.
8-year-old was there. Yeah. And from what I understand, he was a teenager. Yes. He was a 14-year-old young man who had previously broken into your home.
Yes, sir.
4 times, right?
4 times, right?
Yeah.
So Acorns is a financial tech company. So I bought everyone's gifts today with my new Acorn Mighty card. Yeah. The financial
3 or 4. That would have been like the 4th time.
And but this particular night he had broken into your home twice.
Yes, sir.
So the narrative is I guess what got me is here it is, a single Black mother protecting herself at home, and for you to get put out, the world should be embracing you. The Black community should be here with us, embracing you. And so I had no idea it happened until Sean Cotton called called me. And so once I started talking to family members, they had been following your story. And so I reached out to Mr. Jesse Taylor, who's a precinct chair over in the Eastwood Stop 6 district of the Tarrant County GOP Republican Party. He made some phone calls. We located your mother. And so Sean and I just wanted to help you. Bless you.
Thank you.
So, I mean, where you at right now mentally with everything?
I think I'm okay now. There's some days where it's hard because he was a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'm okay.
And how long ago did this take place?
It was December 14th.
Okay, so about a week and a half.
Mhm.
Can you take us through that night? What happened?
Okay. It was like 1 a.m, and I was in my bed. My daughter's room is directly across from mine. So I was laying in my bed, just scrolling, and I heard something. So I sat up. And as soon as I sat up, my daughter came and ran in my room. And she like, Mom, somebody trying to get in my window. So I ran in there and I grabbed my 4-year-old who was in there too. I grabbed her out of the room and then I called the police. I called the police at 1:22. So they came, they talked. It was already a police who had came before for the same thing. So she already know they've been coming in or whatever. So they came, they took pictures, did a report of everything, and then they left. So we go. I got all my kids in my room now, and they went back to sleep, but I just couldn't go to sleep. I just started cleaning up. I started sweeping my living room, and I started to hear the window go up again. So I went and I'm looking, peeking at in her room, but I'm still in my hallway. I'm trying to see if I could see him. And as soon as I seen him start lifting up, I just shot him.
Did you know who he was? Never seen him before?
I seen him in the apartment.
Yeah. Well, had they been breaking in a lot of apartments throughout?
I haven't heard of any, but I don't talk to nobody over there. Me and my kids stay in the house. So I wouldn't know if they was breaking in anybody else's. But my neighbors right next door to me, no.
So let me ask you this. What's the reason? What's the justification that they have given you for being evicted and put out of your apartment?
When she called me the following Monday, the lady in the office, and she told me that I got 30 days to vacate because I'm not supposed to have a firearm on the premises at all.
Now these Section 8 housing, or is there any Section 8 housing in around the area?
It's them. Well, it ain't Section 8, it's HUD. I mean,
Okay, yeah. So by federal law, that's what they're saying. You're breaking the federal housing law by having a gun. So my question is, by you being in HUD housing apartments, you don't have you're not afforded the same right as we do to protect your home, which is Second Amendment rights.
What they telling me.
So you have no felony convictions.
No, sir.
No criminal history.
No, sir.
You're a single mother with 4 daughters.
Yes, sir.
Whose house have been broken in multiple times. You mean to tell me in this country you can't? They're telling you can't have a gun.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
And I had been calling them. I'm calling the office every time I come home. I come over to my mom's house, and when I get back home, the window broke. It slid. The back door open. So I'm calling them every single time.
Is there security? Is there extra security measures that's brought by HUD in the apartment complex?
Not enough.
Is there a security officer on guard, on staff?
No, sir.
So you're left to defend yourself with what? 911?
Yes.
What about the kids' parents? Have y'all spoken? Have they reached out or anything?
No, I haven't spoken to her. When she was saying on the news, she didn't know what happened. The police.
All right. So yeah, let's deal with this portion of it first. Like I said, we deal with it on the surface level. And they said they had Jake, you had niggas on there, our people, trying to condemn her, all right, for what she did. Okay. And they don't know the story. That's one thing. Jake just get to responding and commenting and don't know the story, don't know the backdrop. And see, as we, are learning to be judges, we are learning to listen to everything that's being said, listen to all the circumstances, all the evidence, and that's part of becoming a judge, So this is Proverbs 18:13. It says, he that answereth a matter before he heareth it is folly and shame unto him. And that's part of the culture. That's another cultural norm, which you're going to get into their definition of cultural norm. That's another cultural norm of our people, is that they have all these opinions that's not rooted in facts and evidence, okay, and righteous thinking. Okay, first of all, they making a big deal that he's a 14-year-old boy. Well, guess what? All right, that 14-year-old boy is capable of doing some damage. Okay, those girls are what, 9? The oldest girl 9, the second one 8. Okay, he can get in there and have his way. Okay, he could get in there and have his way. All right, and at the end of the day, she doesn't know how old this nigga is coming in the window, man. She's not asking this nigga for his ID as he attempting this home invasion, man. Okay, and she did exactly what she should have done in that situation, man. All right, and deleted that nigga, man. Okay, and just like the brothers, and then that's another thing. When you look at things on the spiritual level, the Lord set that up for that man to get deleted, for that young Jake to get deleted, man. Okay, now it said this is the brother Yakanan, GMS Miffy Yakanan Ba. This Psalms 68 and 20 says, "He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the Lord belong the issues from death." Okay, so it's the Lord that set up that death, man. All right, and there's no telling what this nigga has been doing previously leading up to that moment, but the Lord set it up for that little Jake, all right, to be deleted, man. Okay, but the woman by herself with those 4 daughters, and there's a attempted home invasion. All right, she did exactly what she was supposed to do, man. Okay, and you go into the hood law or Section 8 law that you're not supposed to have a firearm on the premises, but all these niggas got firearms, man. Okay, and and if you try to live by having no firearms in hood housing or Section 8 housing, you're in the death trap, man. Okay, you're in the absolute death trap, man. And these things exist, okay, in black culture. There's a lot of death traps that's in black culture, man. Okay, like going to clubs, and you'll go to certain clubs where they let certain niggas in with firearms, okay, but they patting everyone else down. Okay, that's a death trap, man. You see, but trying to live by that in the Section 8 hood housing with no firearm, you're in a complete death trap, man. All right, but we're gonna go a little deeper into, all right, this case. Yep, this is another one. Yep, this the brother Saquon Hawaii, GMS North Carolina 777. And this more like one of your lesson brothers in the news. All right, delete it, man. Okay, 14-year-old, delete it, man. Breaking in, delete it, man. This is more your style, brother. I had to jump in your lane for a minute, big bro. This Joel 4:7 says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" Okay, so people look, it's also 14-year-old, it's a child. Nah, that nigga doing adult things. Home invasion, that's an adult crime. When you start doing crimes and there's guns involved, and you doing adult crime, so it's an adult punishment. Okay. No, it's 14, and then he's old enough to where he has, and then look how brave you got to be to try to break in someone's house, man. Okay, look how bold you have to be to try to come through somebody's window. Goddamn, so he bad like that, but then he gets shot. Then now he's a child again. Nah, man, you can't do adult you can't do adult crimes and expect child consequences, man. Okay. He said, yeah, good in my good. It says, verse 8, it says, "Even as I have seen, they that have plowed iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." So he just reaped, all right, whatever he's been sowing. And then she said that that's like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened. You know, so he's a repeat offender, and there's no telling who else he was terrorizing in the neighborhood, man. Okay, but you see, Jake was just praying, and then Jake could do that because Jake know ain't no man there. Okay, and Jake will pray on those women. Okay, but we're gonna go back. We're gonna pull it back a little bit and go to how, you know, this situation could be avoided by a different culture. Culture is the cause of these situations that we see our people constantly in, man. Okay, in the new, I gotta work on it, brother. You know, it says, brother said she was in that good, good in my spirit. Yeah. Who's that peeking in my window? Pow. Is that fire? Nobody knows, man. She nigga out of here. Okay, so yeah, dealing with it on the surface level. All right, she was completely justified. You know, she was completely justified, and I think her case is going to a grand jury. You know, I hope she get off. You know, I pray that she get off. You know, I hope that nothing happens to her. You know, and you know, she was justified, man. Anybody else would did the same thing. All right, now I'm gonna let her play some more. All right, and matter of fact, before I play her, I'm gonna go to this real quick. Now this is, let's go to the little nigga. Okay, let's put this little nigga up here. Him and his ratchet ass mama. All right. So let's hear it. Let's listen to their side. All right, and then we'll go on with the rest of that video.
Investigating after a Fort Worth teen was shot and killed early Thursday morning after allegedly attempting to break into a home in the Rosemont neighborhood. Olivia Leach spoke with the teen's mother, who's pleading for answers tonight.
My son had a lot of dreams and he was so talented. I don't get it.
Fort Worth police say they were called to South Crest Court in the Rosemont neighborhood.
Yeah, look at this nigga, man. Okay, imitating one of the poses of them niggas. You know this is a little nigga, man. All right. The scriptures speak about how their countenance pretty much tell you what they are, man. Okay, you can see he's imitating. All right, being a nigga, man. You know what he's gonna grow into, man. Okay, so you just look at him, you see the pride on him, and think he tough. Okay. Yeah. So let's go here, man. Let's let this play.
I don't get it.
Fort Worth police say they were called to South Crest Court in the Rosemont neighborhood of the city early Thursday morning for a call about a prowler. When they got there, a woman told them several people were attempting to break into her home, but they had left the scene. Shortly after, police got a second 911 call from the woman who said the burglars came back. But when police returned to the scene, they found Latoya Lander's 14-year-old son, Devin Baker, lying on the ground in front of the home with a gunshot wound to the torso. Police say the woman who had reported the break-ins shot him. He died on scene.
It's like I'm in a dream. Because I'm looking at all the things he have at home, and I have to drive by where my son laid.
Tonight, Devin's family and friends came together to honor him at a balloon release outside of Rosemont Middle School, where he was an 8th grader.
And son, I'll see you again.
And you see, all right, balloon release. Wasn't nobody out there, man. Okay, it's a whole school. All right, you have about 11 people out there, man. You know that nigga was a terrorist, man. I know the principal probably happy. The first period teacher happy as hell. The PE coach, goddamn. You know, wasn't nobody out there to the balloon release, man. Okay, and they would let them 3 balloons go, man. Okay, so as you see these things, when you see these things, you guys, as a judge, you gotta consider all this, man. Okay, and she's giving this violin story. All right, look at this balloon release. Okay, nobody fucking no goddamn Devin, man. Okay.
Tonight, Devin's family and friends came together to honor him at a balloon release outside of Rosemont Middle School, where he was an 8th grader.
And son, I'll see you again. I love you so much.
But his family says there has to be more to the story.
No, I know my child. I know him. I know him, and it doesn't add up.
LaToya says she wants more answers from police.
I feel like they need to dig deeper, because I know it's something else happened that caused my son's demise.
Detectives say the woman who shot the teen had reported break-ins and attempted break-ins at her home before, and that she is cooperating with the investigation, but no one has been arrested.
I feel like it's very wrong. And he had so many dreams. My son was not a criminal.
In a letter to the Rosemont Middle School community, school officials extended their sympathy to the family and said their hearts were heavy after learning of the death of a Rosemont student. Additional counseling was made available for any students who needed extra support. In Fort Worth, Olivia Leach, CBS News, Texas.
So yeah, that's the other side. Okay, and you have the nigga woman always, especially with them boys, man. Them boys, the boys are capable of no wrong, and this nigga a terrorist, man. The nigga woman know that nigga a little terrorist, man. Okay, but when it comes to him receiving consequences, then he's capable of no wrong. All right, let's get this to brother Yashima Tribe of Judah, Colossians 3:25. It says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect of person." Yeah, the Lord don't care that it's your son, that it's your cousin, your brother, auntie. Lord don't care about that. Okay, the Lord is going by wrong or right. All right, and when he sent forth judgment, that's it. The angels don't get, okay. They don't freeze up in the middle of the mission. Okay? Because he's a 14-year-old, it's a 12-year-old, it's a 4-year-old baby riding a tricycle. Nah, the angels don't freeze up. They put the play together, man, based on wrong or right, man. All right, and we're finna see that intensify on a whole nother level. Okay? This Psalms 9:16, the brother GMS Memphis Yakanan Ba. It said, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he execute. The wicked is snared in the work of his hands." All right. And this is nigga got snared in the work of his hands in the middle of him, all right, doing wickedness. He got that blasted. Okay. And it was all the judgment of the Lord. Okay. Because she, I doubt that she's just an expert, marksman. She should shot towards the window, and it hit him in one shot. Okay, and the Lord, the angel had it set up perfect where that nigga, it was a perfect time. When that shot went off, he was in a perfect position to where it hit him where the Lord wanted to hit him, get him out of there, man. Okay. Yep. This is the brother Elder Hawaii, GMS North Carolina 777. All right, Sirach 3:26. It says, "A stubborn heart, a stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. And our people, you know, they are addicted to this dangerous culture, man. Niggas love to be in shootouts. Niggas love to be in arguments and fights and beefing with niggas across the town. Niggas love home invasions. You know, they break in your shit, you know, then go smoke weed and drink and laugh about it. Okay. And then when they get hit up, now everybody gotta take a time out, you know, and reflect on them niggas. Nah, man. All right, get that nigga out of here, man. Talking about we need to dig deeper. No, the only thing need to be dug is that grave, and let's get this nigga out of here, man. All right, let's close that chapter. Okay. So let's go back. All right. So that's, you know, I was like, they was just dealing with that on the surface level. You know, there was judgment. All right. You hear both sides of the story. All right. And you judge it according to righteous judgment. Just as, you know, you brothers brought out the precepts. Those precepts, okay, validate that there was righteous judgment, man. You know, and see, in the kingdom, the laws is going to be within us. His word is going to be within us, and we're going to be judging, you know, matters in the kingdom. You know, we're going to be judging different matters amongst the heathen, man. You know, so this is just a case study. You know, just a, you know, a tool, you know, to exercise, you know, righteous judgment. You know, so now I'm gonna play the rest of this, and now it's dealing with her. Now this ain't, you know, a thing to bash, you know, this Eve, you know, because of her situation. This is more of to show where how cultural norms, okay, make this situation normal amongst so-called black culture. You know, so it's not a thing of bashing her for her decision making. You know, is really to address, like I say, the cultural norms that establish, okay, these communities that our people exist in, man. Okay, and this culture that our people exist in. All right, so I'm gonna play about 5 more minutes of this, and then we're gonna go into what are cultural norms. Okay.
He wasn't telling her anything. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to be the one who was gonna tell her.
No, you that's not your job. And that's awesome, and that's amazing that you have that empathy for that mother. But nah, not you. Ain't. When you're grieving, there's nothing. Nothing that you can say to this mother to say that you're not the reason. So you worry about them. You stay focused on them 4 kids. You had nothing to do with that death other than defending your family. You wasn't the cause of that. Yeah, you just acted.
And he made a heavy point. All right, that she wasn't the cause of their death. She just acted. But we're going to get into what's the cause of their death. And see, these are the things that our people don't want to address. You know, they'll stay surface level with it and say she was in the right or she was in the wrong. They go back and forth on the surface level, but they won't go into the root. Okay, the systemic issue at hand. Okay, the systemic issue that's at hand. You know, and it's the cultural norms established by people. Okay.
Nah, man. Yeah, now your daughter and them will be forever affected by this. The fact that they was woken up out of their sleep, that's gonna be forever traumatizing. Going to sleep at night. Yeah. So let's focus on, you know. He gonna be all right. He dead. As harsh as that sound, he gonna be all right. He dead. We got to worry about them and you. Yeah.
Well, how was your Christmas?
It was good. My mom and my brother and my aunt, they come through every time. So my kids had a good Christmas.
Well,
Hopefully we can make it better for them. Yeah, hopefully you know ain't nothing like waking up in your own home, because they just been abruptly moved out of their home right before Christmas. So ain't nothing like waking up, going midnight Christmas tree in your house with your mama, and then coming to grandmama in their house. So let's see if we can recreate Christmas for them.
Yeah, I would love to put this on my platform. All proceeds from this interview, I want to give it to you and your family. Love to put it on Say Cheese and get that GoFundMe from 41 to 81 or 41 to 141.
Yeah.
Like that's because when I seen it, I was out shopping and it just touched me. You know, Charleston, he's really he touches so many people as well. So that's really why I want to come here and really just do this.
There's no way that I could be from this city and this happened to you and we not hunt you down and find out who you are and try to assist you. I can't believe that more people haven't. And that's not to try to shame anybody I just can't believe the whole world haven't gotten behind you. And we pride ourselves on Second Amendment rights and protecting ourselves and protecting our homes as well as protecting our women. So I hope that this interview changes your life because your life has changed forever now.
Yes.
You can never undo this. You can never forget it. You can only grow and evolve past it. Yeah. And it's good to know that you have empathy for that mother. That's very refreshing.
Yeah. What's your thoughts been on? You've been all over the internet.
I hate it.
Mixed reviews, people arguing, having debates.
I hate it. And my mama don't make it no better because she just gonna go back and forth with these people.
Leave the comment section alone.
That's what I'm saying.
If you want to keep your sanity, if you want to keep your peace, to try to contaminate your spirit, your cousins, your aunts. So man, block the comments.
And everybody talking about what they woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Block the man. Block.
Never been in that position.
Please do me a favor. Don't read them comments. Stay up, man, because please don't read them comments. It's number evil in them comments. Man, listen. If you want to see evil, read them comments. Yeah. So man, you got to focus on it's a journey, right? You took a life, and that's not natural. So it's dreams that come with this shit.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good. Work management.
It's nightmares. Your conscience, the psychology of it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And they need your mind to be right, because they gonna be waking up in the middle of the night. Yeah. So they gonna be waking, man. So yeah.
You grew up in Fort Worth?
Yes, sir.
What high school did you go to?
ODY.
Oh, okay. So that's like the south?
Yeah, like southwest side.
Yeah, southwest side. So what was it like growing up out here?
It's cool.
Just regular life.
What's your graduating class year?
I didn't graduate. I had my baby when I was 15.
Oh, okay.
What would have been your class graduating?
16.
2016? Okay.
So you about 26?
25. I'll be 26 next year.
Okay.
So what's your plans and your goals, right? If you can get the financial pressures of life taken off your shoulders, what would you like to do with your life?
Get a house, so we ain't gotta worry about this no more. And go back to school.
What's your credit like?
I ain't never messed with it at all. So
you don't
it's
know.
probably nothing.
Yeah, so no credit is just as good as bad credit.
Yeah,
you gotta have
that's what they tell
something.
me.
Yeah. So when you say go to school, what you want to go to school for?
I don't even know. I just want to do something.
Man, you're 25, so your brain just developed, right? So when I look at you,
So now, let's deal with the cultural norms Okay, because you see, where she's at. She's 26. You tell she really has no idea what she wants to do. All right. She really doesn't have any, strategy for life. She's on government assistance for children, and the children's father, is in prison. Okay. He's in prison. So these all stem, where she's at as a 26-year-old mother of 4. This all stems, all right, from a systemic issue, okay, of cultural norms that govern how people value things, how people, the expectations of our people. Okay. So let's go from there. Let's get this quick definition, and then we're gonna get a quick video of social norms. All right. All right. It says a systemic problem or change is a basic one experienced by the whole of an organization or a country, and not just a particular part of it. And our people suffer from systemic issues, okay, that have established cultural norms that produce degeneracy. Okay. Now, let's get cultural norms. Just a quick video, and then we'll go from there.
What are cultural norms? Norms are the agreed upon expectations and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its members in any given situation.
I want to emphasize on the word norms. Okay. Now you read the word norms, it says the agreed upon expectation and rules by which a culture guides the behavior. Okay, the agreed upon expectation and rules. Let's put an emphasis on it. The agreed upon expectation and rules. Okay, and these expectations guide the culture's behavior and its members in any given situation. Okay, and you look at what has happened amongst our people. Like I say, you go back to the 60s, you go to the feminist movement. Okay, when it became a cultural norm for a woman not to have a husband, for a woman to be so-called independent, that became a norm. All right, that became an expectation, because now you're raising daughters in the house, okay, of a single parent. So they look at their mother moving and operating as a single parent, and that becomes their expectation. And that expectation guides their behavior. Okay. So now when you have this expectation, all right, as when you have this as an expectation and the rule which guides your behavior, now as a woman, when you're looking, all right, when you're dealing with men, you're not dealing with a man on the basis of establishing a family. Okay, you're not dealing with men, and you're not looking at the man and his potential to be a father. Hell, he, like I say, he doesn't even have to be there. Okay, your expectation of a man is him just coming through every now and then. Okay, your expectation is you're gonna be a single mother anyway, so you don't have any expectations from the man. He can be in and out of prison. He can be okay the most notorious gangbanger in the neighborhood, because you don't expect him to be there like that anyway. It's already ingrained in you. Okay, as a man, you're doing all these wild things as a young Jake in the neighborhood because you don't expect to live. Okay, all your homeboys getting killed or going to prison, so you do these things, all right, with the expectation of that. Okay, this has become your norm. You see? So when you go to this word norms, okay, this is a heavy definition, man. The agreed upon expectations and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its member in any given situation. Okay? Why do you have, because you got niggas that are bred to be niggas like that, their fathers, their mothers, their cousin, aunties, everybody is in the streets. Okay, so you have children that are bred to be that. Okay, but then you have children that grow up around it. Okay, and why do they try to imitate? All right, the street life, the street culture, because amongst our people, that's accepted, that's acceptable, that's a thing of honor. Okay, that's a thing of honor. Going to prison is a thing of honor amongst our people, man. Okay, and it all goes into cultural norms. And see, dealing with cultural norms is levels to it, because you can have a household, like I said, I grew up in different households. I grew up with my grandparents, all right, and the cultural norms amongst my grandparents' house were different amongst my mother's house when I was living, under a single mother. It was completely different cultural norms. Okay, well, no rap music being played at my grandmother's house. Okay, well, when no going to the parties and nah. Okay. So you can have different cultural norms just from house to house. Okay, then you can have different cultural norms, from inside the house to the community. There's because you can be in the hood, but then your house has different cultural norms than, all right, the house down the street or the house next door. The house next door, you might can smoke weed and drink and talk shit, bring women over, but the house next door, they don't allow all that. So you can have different cultural norms from house to house. Then they go from city to city. Then it's country to country. Okay? And what happens in the West is culture norms begin to clash. Okay? That's why you can as a man, you try to deal with a woman, and the things that are normal to her are not normal to you. You see? Because a lot of times, that's why, you stay in a certain neighborhood or even, a school, because there's cultural norms within the school. Your parent or your parent could be trying to raise you in a particular way, but then you go out into the neighborhood amongst these other cultural norms and you try to assimilate to that and bring that back, and what happens is that there's a clash. Okay, there's a clash. That's why you think children get put out, because they try to bring those cultural norms from the outside into a house where it's not accepted. And they end up being put out. Okay, but this is a heavy thing. When I first read it, the agreed upon expectations and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its member in any given situation. Okay, so let this play some more. All right, think about another point I want to get.
Of course, norms vary widely across cultural groups. Americans, for instance, maintain fairly direct eye contact when conversing with others. Asians, on the other hand, may avert their eyes as a sign of politeness and respect. Sociologists speak of at least 4 types of norms, namely, folkways, mores, taboos, and laws. Folkways, sometimes known as conventions or customs, are standards of behavior that are socially approved but not morally significant. For example, belching loudly after eating dinner at someone else's home breaks an American folkway. Mores are norms of morality. Breaking mores, like attending church in the nude, will offend most people of a culture. Certain behaviors are considered taboo, meaning a culture absolutely forbids them, like incest in U.S. culture.
And see, things that used to be taboo among so-called black culture are the norm now. Okay, the alphabet community. Okay, that was the thing that was taboo. That's the norm now. Okay, it's the norm. Okay, incest. Hey, these things happen, especially in these neighborhoods, man. Jake is doing a lot of wickedness, man, in these neighborhoods, man. They have just become the norm. Okay, the young women just being ran through. Okay, these young girls coming up just being ran through by the older Jakes. That's the norm. Okay, and these things become when these things become the norm. When something becomes normal, it becomes a culture. First it becomes a situation. An incident. Something just something that happened. Okay, an incident. Then these incidents become norm. Then norms become a culture. It's normal for her to have 4 children. Okay, that's the norm. 4 children with the father that's in prison. Okay, and guess what? And having a man that's in prison, that's like normal. Like that's like acceptable. Okay, that's a thing that's acceptable, man. Now I don't know what their situation is. If he just went, he been there and he just went, or it's one of those situations where he go to prison and come out, lay up with her. Okay, because she's in poverty. Okay, Section 8. So she's in poverty. So, and that's the thing. Like, you got these situations where the government, take care of these women, and these women take care of these grown men. That's a cultural norm. Okay, and then what do? They just lay up, okay, and have baby. The man come home from prison, okay, and he come lay up there, and he probably got somewhere else he lay up, okay, and just leave seed. Okay, and this is a cultural norm. And then you get to these situations to where these single mothers with these children are just out here unprotected. But this is the culture that our people exist in, man. Okay, and it's only getting worse. So let's keep playing.
Finally, laws are a formal body of rules enacted by the state and backed by the power of the state. Virtually all taboos, like child abuse, are enacted into law, although not all mores are. For example, wearing a bikini to church may be offensive, but it is not against the law. It must be noted that members of a culture must conform to its norms for the culture to exist and function. Hence, members must.
She said members, read this, it says members of a culture must conform to its norms for the culture to exist and function. Okay, members of the culture must conform to its norms for the culture to exist and function. And let's get that in let's if a brother can post that in Jeremiah 2 and 21. All right, and also in Lamentations chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. Okay, let's read this again. Members of a culture must conform to its norms for the culture to exist and function. See, when you conform, when you come, because see, all it takes is one single mother to break the cycle of one woman to break off and say, okay, I want to be independent. Okay, I want to do my own thing. All it takes is one woman to break away. And what she does now in her house that she's going to bring up, she established a cultural norm, okay, of single motherhood. Now look at just like this one. Let's say she came from a family of structure, okay, or 2-parent household, and she made her decisions that led to her being a single mother. All right, because decision making leads you to be a single mother. There's nothing that just happens. It's rarely, like you really try to establish something with a guy, and no, you the type of guys you choose, okay, increase your chances of being a single mother drastically. The type of the men of choice, all right, which you go back into the cultural norms, because the men are chosen based on what? Expectations. These women choose men, all right, based on expectations. Okay? And the type of man you choose, it highly increases or decreases your chance of being a single mother. Okay? So you have one woman to break off from being a single mother. And what she does, like this situation, she has 4 daughters. Now, these 4 daughters, what's going to be their expectation of a man if all they see is their father in and out of prison, or their father not in the picture like that? Okay? What's going to be their expectation? So now she's producing 4 more single mothers. And they're going to be single mothers of household. Let's say 10 children come out of that. That's going to be, and it has grown, okay, into a community. You see? Now this is a whole community. Now this is a whole nation. Okay. So members of a culture must conform to its norms. So when you conform, because you on the flip side, you can break the cycle. You can get and this even just with niggas, just using a woman for example, even with Jake, they come from these families where everybody, is from the streets, and he be the ones that break the cycle. Now he's pretty much a professional man, has a family. They moved out from their community, and now he's raising his children, okay, in a structured household. He didn't conform to the norms of the culture. Okay, and a woman, if she doesn't conform, she can break the cycle and be a wife. Okay, and get away from those cultural norms. And now they're raising children, all right, in an environment that's adverse to the cultural norms that she was raised in, man. Okay, but for the most time, the easiest thing to do is to conform to the cultural norms that's in your environment, man. Okay, and we're going to get into it in the spirit as well. All right, we're just dealing with it, okay, with this day's culture, but we're going to go into these things in the spirit, okay, because we left our cultural norms to follow Yahweh Shai,
Want to conform and obey rules. They first must internalize the social norms and values that dictate what is normal for the culture. Then they must socialize, or teach norms and values to their children.
See that?
If internalization and
so you read that, it says, The members must want to conform and obey rules. They first must internalize the social norms and values that dictate what is normal for the culture. Okay? Having 2 or 3 baby daddies, 4 baby daddies, that's normal for the culture. Jake to have, all these random baby mothers and not be involved in the children's life like that, that's normal for the culture. That's why women are surprised when when you tell them you don't have children. It's like they're flabbergasted. You see? Because why? That's a cultural norm. Women will say, what's wrong with you? Because you don't have chaos. It's like if you don't have your normal portion of chaos in black culture is like, what's wrong with you? And then it says they must socialize or teach norms and values to their children. And what is the main way that these norms and values are taught to our children? Through the media. Okay, and even if you don't verbalize, like you don't pull your child to the side and say, this is just a norm. Okay, I'm a single mother, you're gonna be a single mother, this the norm. Nah, you ain't gotta say anything. Just by your life, your action is teaching. Okay, you don't have to tell the young Jake, look, my uncle was a dope boy. I'm a dope boy. You gonna be a dope boy. Nah. Okay, your actions show. Okay, or your actions are teaching him what's normal. Your lifestyle is teaching him what's normal. Okay.
Socialization failed to produce conformity. Some form of social control is eventually needed.
I think that's it on that. All right, so let's get these few precepts. And then we'll go to the next phase. Yeah, oh yeah, brother got that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a segue with that one. Yeah, I'm a segue. Yeah, brothers got it. All right, so this is brother GMS Yakanan, Memphis Yakanan Ba, Jeremiah 2:21 said, "Yeah, I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto thee?" Okay, so we were planted as a noble people. Okay, with structure, with order, with wisdom. How we turned into a degenerate plant or a strange vine, and you go into, okay, I want to get this word degenerate. What does that mean? The scripture speak about a great falling away. So you go into degeneration. Okay, it says a loss of impairment of the qualities proper to race or kind. And if a brother could, Amos 7:17, Baba Shah, it said loss or impairment of the qualities proper to a race or kind. Now, what race are we? We're Israelites. Okay, and we was given law, statutes, and commandments. We was given order. We was given wisdom. We was given structure. We was given integrity. Okay, we was given these things, man. But now, all right, we've lost those things as a people. Okay, it says also figurative. It says a descent to an inferior state. A descent into an inferior state. Okay, and let's get some precepts. All right, let's get some precepts. This is the brother Bayan Yasha Allah, Lamentation 4:1. It says, "How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street." Okay, and as I run at the top of every street, man, because you go into, the value that the Israelite man had in the world. Okay, Even going to these ancient empires, even when you go back, like I say, to the 20s and 30s, when the Israelite men were building communities and and economies, man. You know, Esau, he put a lot of those communities underground. Okay, the Israelite man was valuable. You know, the Israelite man was extremely ingenuitive. Okay, they knew how to govern, they knew how to run systems. Okay, we'll say now they pour it out in the top of every street. Now you just a street nigga, man. Okay, one of the least valuable thing in the earth, man. A nigga that try to live by street nigga rules, man. Okay, a nigga that you know. There's a very, nigga don't know how to do nothing. Nigga don't know how to guide no house. Nigga don't know how to, nigga don't understand the economy for a household. Nigga don't know how to guide a household. All nigga know how to do is pop women and party, and terrorize each other, man. That's something of a very low value. But guess what? In black culture, those men are honored. Okay? Those are the men of choice. You see? It said the precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold, how they esteem as earthen pitchers the work of the hands of the potter. Okay? So the sons of Zion comparable to fine gold, how they esteem as earthen pitchers, man. A vessel of low value, man. Okay? A vessel of low value, but in black culture, they're valued, man. You see? Due to what? Cultural norms. All right? And it says, this is Lamentations 4:3. It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostrich in the wilderness, man. So the scriptures tell you how our people have descended into an inferior state. Terrible mothers amongst our people, man. Okay? Terrible mothers, man. And your motherhood starts before you become a mother. Okay? Your choice in men, all right, that's a part of your motherhood as well, man. Your choice in men is a part of your motherhood, man. Your motherhood starts before the child is there, man. Okay? And what does Eve like more than anything? Degenerate. Okay? And it says, it said descent to an inferior state or directly to be inferior to one's ancestors. To be inferior to one's ancestors. Okay? It says to become unlike one's race or kind. Our people, all right, hey, we morphed into beasts, man. Okay, we was way inferior to our forefathers and our foremothers, man. The way that we acted, the way we treated each other, man. Okay, the way that the woman, virtue was valuable, man. It was the norm for the woman to only deal with one man her whole life. 2 at the most, man. 2 men at the most. Okay? It was honorable for a man to lead his household, man, and establish a legacy in the earth, man. Okay, that was the norm. You see? But now the norm is for Jake to catch a body. You ain't about it if you ain't caught a body by a certain age, man. Okay? If you ain't pregnant by one of these niggas, and that's unnormal not to be pregnant about a nigga, man. Okay? Go the generous state. Okay? And that's why the scriptures say here. I think the brother probably posted. Yeah. Let's go here to Yep, Mr. Brother Bayon Yashala. Let me get this one. Yeah. All right, just the brother Bayon Yashala, Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus said the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. And when this says wife, you know, it's speaking about what the Israelite women, you know, because the Israelite woman was born to be our wives. Okay. So it says, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. This is a cultural norm. Okay, these things are cultural norms. Okay, that the woman, you know, has been promiscuous, dealt with multiple men. That's the norm. Okay, that's the expectation. You don't even expect for a woman to be a virgin. Hey, you can't even expect a woman not to have children, and you really can't expect her not to have multiple baby fathers, man. You see, these are the norms. And it says, and thy son and thy daughter shall fall by the sword, okay, gun violence, and the land shall be divided by line, all right, in which our land was divided, okay. See the rest of it. So let's keep going. So now, let's go here, and the brother got it. I think the brother posted. So now let's segue. All right, here. Because now, all right, as we come into the truth, we've left, you know, the cultural norms of, you know, our communities and societies that we grew up in, and now we're conforming to the cultural norms of, all right, our forefathers. Because when you degenerate, you fall away from the way of your forefathers. Okay, but when you repent, which is to turn back, now we're getting back to those old paths. Now we're living by the standard of our forefathers and our foremothers. All right, the men living by the standards of the forefathers, and the women are beginning to move by the standards of their foremothers. Okay, so you read this, it's the brother Zaquan Watt, Jeremiah 6:16 said, thus said the Lord, stand you in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And that's the majority of our people that are still caught up in the cultural norms of this society. And that's why they're yielding the same results. Okay, because like I say, just using this woman as a case study, she's in this situation because she refused the old paths. You know, she's you know, she's a victim of her decision making, but her decision making was you know, her decision making was already promoted by her culture, you know, like Elder Sahab said, like he was going into arranged marriages, and he was saying, like, look, you know, women, you know, that a lot of us, you know, were taught to go after. That's the women that we was taught to go after, man. You know, by the culture. Okay, and if you have particular cultural norms that you grew up in, you can revert back to that. As his brother put, train up a child in a way that he should go. When he get older, he should not depart. So now, when you grow, like if you grow up in a house and you see cultural norms, okay, that are different from what's being shoved down our throat, you have something to revert back to. Okay, but if you don't, all you have is what's being shoved down your throat. What's the expectation of a man? What's the expectation of a woman? All right, these men that women be choosing, what's been shoved down their throat is the expectation. Okay? You go outside, you see it. You turn on the TV, you see it. Okay? But now we're going back to those old paths, man. Okay? Now you see brothers and sisters have reverted back to those old paths. Okay? And now we find rest because you read it again, it says, thus said Jeremiah 6:16, thus said the Lord, stand ye in the way and see and ask for the old paths, and where is the good way? And that way goes into your manner of life. You see, now we have a manner of life. Okay? Just imagine if it was a community where all the brothers and sisters from GMS lived in this, this community. You won't have to worry about, someone trying to break into your house. Okay? You won't have to worry about being concerned where your children are playing at, because guess what? If your child is on my street, I'm gonna look after him like he my own. If my child is on the next street, I know the brother, okay, Yakanan gonna look at him like he's his own, and he's gonna have the same morals and values. He holds the same morals and values that I hold. Okay? And you will have you will have cultural norms established. They will see a bunch of two-parent households. They will see women in order, to some degree. Some more, but they'll see an effort of it. They'll see a model of it, man. The children to see that, because in the kingdom, there's going to be cultural norms in the kingdom. That's why we're not going to have to teach our children. The laws are going to be in them, and they're going to be seeing, all right, their fathers ruling in righteousness. They're going to see their mothers in order. They're going to see, all right, how to deal with servants and handmaids. That's going to be a cultural norm to them in the kingdom. Okay? So we're going back to that good way and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. When you see a man that's serving the Lord, there's a certain rest that he has on his spirit. Of course, we vex, and sometimes, because even through the vexation, they can't take that peace we got, because we're serving Yahweh Shem Al Shai. We're in our purpose. And you see a woman that's in her order, man. Okay, that's why the most happy women on the earth are the women that are able to be homemakers, man. You look at all these women that's trying to be these superheroes and independent. They stretch the hell out, man. I was talking to a little Eve. I had picked up an Eve doing rideshare, and she was talking, and so I'm asking questions. I'm always asking questions, man. I'm always doing the slick interview. So, come to find out, like, her car was messed up, and she goes to Jackson State. She's trying to get her master's, and she works at Lowe's, and she's a scripper. So I'm like, God damn. So I asked, I said, so you ever thought about it, if you had a husband that kind of help you, where you wouldn't have to, do all those things, would you settle down? And she had a hesitation. And you can tell that there was really never an ideal option. Okay? But that's going back to the old paths. But our people, see, Esau, he's crafty, man. Okay? And he pretty much made being a wife as if that's not even an option. Like, he pushed that being an independent woman is the only thing, that our women should aspire to be, is these independent women. Okay, but this woman has to do all these things, okay, still living in her parents' house. All right. But having a husband is like, that's not even an option. Being a wife is not even, that's not even the norm amongst Black culture anymore, being a wife. That's why 85% of the women are single. That's not the norm anymore. And guess what? 92% of the the inmates that are in prison, they're fathers. You see, the working man, all right, has been looked at as a dishonor in so-called black culture. If you're an Israelite woman and you just have a regular working man, all right, that's looked at as dishonor. All right, matter of fact, let me play this video real quick. All right, but you would rather go struggle, okay, be on hood or try to, you be in hood. So if you're in hood, you in these environments to where, you're around all these roguish niggas that they're raised by single parents. Okay, you're around all these roguish, unruly niggas. Okay, in this environment. Okay, but then on the flip side, let's say you're a woman that has a career, you'd rather be a slave, okay, to this career than to just be a wife. See, this culture has taught our women to fight against being a wife. There's a lot of women that have no expectation of being a wife. That's not even an expectation, but they still want to, all right, have sex and children are just, things that something that happens. All right, but they still want to have the pleasure of sex and all these different things. But being a wife is not even, expectation to a lot of women. Okay, let's get this real quick. Thought I had pulled it up. Okay, yeah, it's the brother Elder Manata Zagba had did a lesson on it. I seen a TikTok by itself. Now this is Eve, I guess so-called I guess she's Diamond the Body, so I guess she's some Instagram model, whatever. But she pretty much going to a list of jobs that men shouldn't have. Now, of course, you go to like the fast, you're gonna go to the fast food and retail, which that's understandable. You as a man, you gotta mature and you gotta mature and get some type of trade, some type of career. You gotta do some, that's lucrative enough, to sustain, help sustain the household. All right. So the first few jobs she's saying that's understandable. But my issue is with the second, all right, set of jobs that she's going to go into. Okay. And these things, and see, women are hearing this, the younger women are hearing this, and what? Now they have this expectation, this unrealistic expectation. Okay, to where they bypass. See, the solution, and that's another thing. It's a lot of, single women that I pick up and I just listen to them talk. And a lot of this situation will be solved if they just had an everyday Jake. A lot of these situations, but see, in this society, if you're a woman, because the woman is put on this pedestal, okay, so a woman dealing with an average man, okay, that's looked at as a downgrade. That's dishonorable, okay, within the cultural norms of black culture. Okay, so let's play this.
Men should not do, especially grown ass men. Okay, for one, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, any fast food restaurant, if you think that you're a grown-ass man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown-ass men in his goddamn 40s flipping my goddamn burger, okay? Let it go. Leave it alone. That job is not for you. Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress, okay? Why are you a grown-ass man working at Ross? That makes absolutely no sense, okay? Target, Marshalls, like, guys, give it up. Leave these jobs to the kids. Leave these jobs to the teenagers. These are jobs you get in high school, in college. But once you're a grown ass man, you do not need to be working in any fast food restaurant or any retail restaurant. And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong. All right. No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong. Okay. There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year. You men that think working for the city is high value, it's actually not, okay? It's pathetic. It's sad, all right? I don't want my husband coming home smelling like trash. Yes, we do need people to take the trash out, but don't come to me thinking that that's a high value job. Absolutely not, okay? You guys need to go get some real careers, okay? Become an entrepreneur or something, all right? Own a Lamborghini or something. Like, you guys thinking that you driving around here in a fucking Toyota and thinking that you're a high value man because you work for the fucking post office. You're absolutely wrong. Stop it. All right. You're low value. All right. And if you want a high value woman like me, you need to switch your career path.
Fellas, are y'all not scared of getting robbed? Like y'all have no fear in your heart at all. Because I'm in a bar with a guy. He just chit-chat me up, buy me drinks, flash.
So yeah, you know, and like I say, the first part, of course, you know, as a man, you know, you can't do nothing with a McDonald's chick, okay. But now, when she went into the post office and you know, delivery man, construction, all right, what did she say? Firefighter and firefighter, you know, depending on where you at, they make. But anyway, it ain't even, you know, ain't no dollar amount, man, okay. And those are some very extremely, and see the police like, and this is why the Lord is finna take away the essential man. See, everybody shits on the everyday man, but see, the Lord finna take them men away. That's when society gonna become chaotic, when the Lord takes away, all right, the law enforcement, the firefighters. Okay, but yeah. And she's considered herself high value. Why? Because the culture considers her high value. Okay? But the everyday working man is considered what? Low value. 70,000 a year. But guess what? Now, I want to address two things with that. Now, it's honorable, because even with the Jake, if it's a Jake working at McDonald's, it's honorable for a woman to stay loyal to a man that's in prison. When this nigga making $0 a year. Now the prison man is honorable. A prison Jake is honorable. And this nigga makes $0 a year. And not only that, you gotta pay to talk to this nigga. Okay? You gotta send this nigga food to eat. You send this nigga money for commissary, okay? And you might have to pay for lawyers. Maybe my math ain't math. I said I can understand. All right, hey, not want to deal with Jake working McDonald's. Like, okay, nigga, it's time to upgrade. All right, it's fully understandable. But then the loyalty to these prison niggas is like, well, goddamn, it can't be a numbers thing. Okay, because this nigga, like I said, he's not even free. You know? So, yeah, that's my thing with that hypocrisy, man. Okay, yeah, you buying these niggas shoes in prison. You buying these niggas got outfits and phone. Niggas getting their phone bill paid in prison. Okay? But then a Jake that work at Ross is dishonorable. Okay? You know, but then on the flip side, like the Jake that makes 70,000 a year. Now, this woman in her situation, like the Eve that shot the little 14-year-old. Okay, she's in hood housing. All right, she's about to be evicted. She don't know what she's going to do. So guess what? A man that makes 70,000 a year will be a superhero in her situation. Okay, a man working at the post office would be a superhero in her situation. Okay, but the culture teaches you not to look at that as the option. She will probably, and me speaking, she will probably deal with another street nigga. Okay, than the average man. And see, the cultural norms of black culture, all right, have our people making the dumbest decisions, man. Men and women. Okay. So let's I don't even know what she's gonna say. I just want to deal with that. And then another thing, let's pull this up real quick. Because two average people, okay, can make some moves in America, man. Okay. Two average people can make some moves in America, man. Okay. But the culture tells you to either go for these unrealistic, standards for a man, all right, or it's cool to just deal with, a round the way nigga, man, a community nigga, man. Okay, but you skip over the solution. Okay, guys, I be listening to Eve, I be listening to him, and a lot of these situations, all they would need was just an everyday Jake. But see, I'll touch on that. So let's go here. I said, what's considered middle class? So I went to Google. It says, put another way, if you're making less than 43,000 in your household, you are probably considered low income family. If you're making between 43,000 and 130,000, you are considered middle class. If you are earning 130,000 and above, you are considered upper class. Now, let's do the math, because it's like it's dishonorable just to be average, to be a construction worker. Okay, so let's just do some math. Let's say you have a husband that is a construction worker, and he's making 60,000 a year. Well, his income alone puts them in middle class. Okay, let's say he has a wife, and let's say she's a hotel receptionist. Okay, she just makes 27 a year. Well, that's $87,000. So that will put them firmly in middle class. Okay, she got her average little job. He got him, average job, little career, and potentially that's another thing. This is another thing women don't understand. These men that you see, all right, in their late 30s, early 40s, that are well established in their careers, they had to start somewhere. You see, think about it. Okay, the woman, she get pregnant by these niggas, okay, when she's 15, 16, 17, these jakes be, 17, 20 through 20, whatever. Now, she get pregnant by these men, a lot of men that Eve deal with, these men don't increase their value. Okay, so that's why the woman is either left to the mercy of government assistance, or she has to go hustle and become a corporate slave. Okay, but then you have situations, because I talk to a lot of older couples too. I said, what I do now, I'm able to move around, and you talk to people. You talk to a lot of older couples, and what I like to do when I talk to older couples, I like to go into their origin story. Sometimes I be working for these well-to-do families, and they stay in these nice neighborhoods, and I get to talking to them, going into their origin story, and the man always started at this little regular job. The woman, she will have her little regular job. And they'll just be making it. But they're going to how things change. You know, he started getting promotions. You know, this, that happened, and, and then they moved up a little bit. And this will happen, they'll move up some more. And then something will happen where he just getting, he's the man now and she don't have to work no more. But see, it's a lot of those stories that though the man and woman, they start off with just these little average jobs and they grow into something. You see? But that's not a cultural norm amongst Black culture. Okay? The Black woman is either taught to want a man that has it all already. Okay? Or she just has a mindset, I'm gonna be independent. So I don't really have no expectation of a man. So I can just deal with who I want and with no expectation. Okay? And it's just some, that because I love to go into the dynamic of family, husband and wife. I go into those things. Okay? But then she said 70,000 a year. Now, if let's say you have a man that works at the post office and his woman works at the post office, and they both make 70,000 a year. Well, together, what is that? That's 140. They'll put you in the upper middle class. Okay? You see, but that's not honorable amongst Jake. You see, she will be looked at as settling. Okay? It's an ass backwards culture, man. It's an ass backwards culture, and everyone's losing in that culture. The women losing, the men losing, the children losing. Everyone is losing within those cultural norms, all right, of the so-called Black community, man. Okay? Let's play another one. The women that just from what I'm seeing, just from what I look at, the women that has the less stress, the most peace, and the most resources, okay, to her disposal, is these women that are homemakers, man. Okay? The women that are homemakers, they are in them are the women that's truly living their best life. Because first, they don't have the burden of trying to prove nothing to these people. Okay? They don't have the burden of being under anyone else's schedules outside of their husband. Okay? You see? And then they get to tap into their womanhood, man. Man, there's so much to being a woman. We've been robbed, man. Well, there's another thing. The expectations that men have for women, man, is so low, below what a woman's supposed to be. Is ridiculous, man. To the point where you have, all right, these high mileage leftover women talking about their high value, man. Okay, so yeah, let's get this. I want to play this as well. Okay. Let me pull this up so I can.
Try to keep this short. So I have a friend that's a guy. We've been friends for a very, very long time. I'm 45 years old almost. And we've been friends for half of that. Well, anyway, he was married once. And long story short, he ends up leaving the first wife because he says he didn't want a housewife. He didn't want a housewife. He wanted somebody that can contribute and help him and all this stuff. Okay. So fast forward 2 years, 3, whatever it is, he is married to this new woman. Okay. Lo and behold, now she had a career, but all of a sudden, she's a housewife now. So your girl over here was a little confused, and I tried to mind my own business, but I had to ask, like, bro, you left this woman who wasn't doing anything. You just said she didn't contribute. Like, you know, you wanted somebody that was willing to contribute a little bit more, whatever. But now you got this wife, new wife. She cool too, cool both of them, and she doesn't work. So you got another housewife. Explain. And he did. And what he said to me was, I said I didn't want a housewife. I never told you I didn't want a homemaker. There's a difference. He said, when I come home, I got my house is clean. I got food on the table. I take my clothes out. She washing my laundry. She rubbing my back. My favorite show playing. The shower going. You know, he said, if she know I got to cut the grass, she going out there putting the gas in the little gas tank to make sure that he don't have to leave for us to do that, to go put gas in the gas thing to put it in the lawnmower. Like little stuff like that. Just all he said that she makes his house a home. And I was like, well, you said you wanted somebody that could contribute. And he was like, she is. That's her contribution. She's contributing to my peace. She's making my life peaceful, handling things that I don't like to handle, don't really know how to handle as a man. So when I come home, I'm not stressed about that. So I don't mind going out, making this bread, getting this money, maybe working a little extra to make sure she good. Because she makes sure I'm good in her capacity. So I do what I got to do in my capacity to make her good. He was like, my first wife didn't do that. He said he might come home, he might have a meal, laundry piled up, she might wash it, might not. Put gas in the gas tank. She wasn't doing none of that, wasn't going outside, wasn't doing none of that. That ain't what he wanted. So it wasn't that he wasn't willing to take care of a woman. He wasn't willing to take care of a woman that wasn't willing to do nothing. And it wasn't go get a job. He didn't want her to go get a job. That's what I thought. He didn't want her to go get a job. He wanted her to make his house feel like a home. In his words, make him feel like a man by doing the womanly things and not being all extra independent. Oh, I ain't doing that. I'm not, I ain't washing no clothes. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. But you want him to go do everything that you want him to do, buy your bags, pay your bills, get your hair, your nails done, take it, furnish the house, take care, all of that stuff. But you don't want to clean up. You don't want to cook. I understand exactly what he's saying right now. Now, I'm not judging any independent woman. I'm an independent woman. I am. That's because I want to be. Like, I want to be. I like having my own. But if you're one of these women that don't want to get out here and do what I'm doing right now, you might want to start washing some clothes, cooking some meals. Yeah. Making sure that man all right. And the next thing he said was, and a lot of y'all ain't gonna like this, she kept herself up. He didn't come home and she was in bonnets. He said that she wasn't just dressed up to the nine when he got home, but she was presentable for him. He said the other wife, he come home, she'll have a raggedy t-shirt on, no bra, titties going left and right. His words, not mine. Like, for real. And it really put some things into perspective for me. I was like, so maybe these men aren't articulating some of the good ones. They're not articulating this right. When they say they don't want a housewife, they don't want nobody laying up on them, not doing nothing. But the men like him, they don't mind taking care of anybody. They just want you to take care of them the way women are supposed to take care of a man. So if y'all want to be housewives, I think you need to change the verbiage. Homemaker. Make that man's house a home. Might get a little further. Listen to myself too, though. Just like,
And see, that's a lost art, because being a homemaker would solve a lot of the problems, that our women find themselves in, because there's a lot of men, they wouldn't mind bringing in a homemaker, man, because every man wants that. All right. And the reason why a lot of men are single and they're choosing, to do what they call the free agent lifestyle. All right. Because homemakers are not the cultural norm amongst the women of the tribes, man, especially the Southern Kingdom. Okay, that's something that's rare, because why? They wasn't taught to be there. And then You know, by the time the women do snap into it and trying to be their homemaker, well, you already have all this poor decision making, this baggage with you, man. You know, you have these badass children, okay, these wild ass baby fathers. You know, because a man gotta consider all that, man. Even if the man will want to bring you in like them badass kids that, you know, that by default they're gonna be rebellious towards any order he tried to establish. Okay, and then you have baby fathers that are still in the mix. You gotta deal with them niggas like you know, a lot of women, they just dig themselves in the hole so much that, you know, that it's over. You know, there's exceptions, you know, to the rules, and you know, especially when you're dealing with this truth, man. The Lord, you know, he gonna make a way how he gonna do it. You know, but just speaking in general, you know, a lot of women, they dig such a hole by just moving off the cultural norms. Okay, you know, they become ruined. You know, they just become, you know, damaged goods. You know, to where a man that has his own motion, that has something going, like it would be a major, it will be a you know, it will be a major downgrade for him. You know, because see, that myth of the woman settling, that's played out. All these myths, and you know, the man, you know, was made to believe that, you know, he's not a real man if he don't separate her and the children and all that BS, man. See, that enchantment is played out. It's gone. Okay, you know, nah, that chaos that you done created these decades, nah, man. You know, the man is like, nah, okay. But the thing that's why, let's get some scriptures real quick. We get ready to close out. Okay. But us separating from those cultural norms, okay, is putting us in a position to win as men and women. Okay. This is Genesis 12:1. Let me see. All right, this is Genesis 12:1. And it says, now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, and into the land where I will show thee. So Abraham had to separate from his father's house. And within his father's house, you had cultural norms, okay, which Torah, they was in the land of Chaldea, which was known for idolatry, man. You know, astrology, you know, you know, going your astrologists, the soothsayers. That was the cultural norm of Abraham's father's house. Well, he had to what? Separate from that. All right. And when he separated, and I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Okay. So as we separated from the cultural norms, okay, of our, you know, of our families, of our communities, okay, now we can see that the Lord is getting ready to bless. And even the Lord is blessing now. We have this wisdom, we have this understanding, we have peace. Because even applying this wisdom in the midst of the chaos, because we all made decisions that, you know, cause chaos. Okay. But now that we're in this truth and we're applying this wisdom, okay, and we have a new cultural norm, a new, okay, expectation and rules, okay, we're already experiencing the peace of it. This comes with a peace. Okay. So let's go here. And that's why, because remember, to degenerate is to fall away from the ways of your ancestors. Okay. To fall away from their way. And that's why when you go to the book of 1 Peter, all right, the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. All right, this book of Peter, verse 3. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 says, likewise, ye wives, submit It said, "Your wives be in subjection to your own husband, that if any man obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives." Okay, so now the cultural norm amongst the truth is for what? Women to be in subjection. Okay, to what? Their own husbands. Okay. One thing about this truth, hey, being a wife is the norm. And if you don't have a husband, the norm is to wait. Okay, until the Lord, set that up. All right, till he sets you up with a man of the Lord. That these things are the cultural norms of this truth. Okay, so that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Okay, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Yeah, because you have a husband and wife, and if he's not in the truth, all right, but the woman is in the truth, where she has cultural norms that are different from his. Okay, but your conduct and conversation, okay, the way that you are, what you're becoming, he should be able to see what you becoming, and that could entice him to believe. Now, if it's not meant for him to believe, then there's nothing you can do. All right. But if you're a woman that's in that situation, you want to make sure you're blameless, okay, by your conduct within the marriage, okay, a conduct that will be pleasing to Yahweh Shem Al Shai. Verse 3 says, "Who's ordained, and let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and wearing of gold and putting on of apparel." Yeah, because like that woman diamond the body, she's calling herself high value based on the outside adorning, outfit she got, talking about different cars, that's where her value comes from. Because if you put her in any setting outside of a glorified harlot in Babylon, she wouldn't thrive. Okay, she couldn't be an administrative, she couldn't be a nurse, she couldn't be a chef, a cook for the house. She couldn't do those things. Okay, need her to decorate. She couldn't do things, man. Okay, that was befitting to a woman, but her value is based on the cultural norms of social media. Okay, and outward things. So the scriptures, all right, the apostle Peter is saying, let not that be your glory. Let not that be your value be stemmed in outfits. There's nothing wrong with a woman, making herself look nice, man. That's a part of, being a wife as well. Keeping yourself up. Because scripture speak about how a beautiful woman cheereth up the countenance. Because it's a science to being a woman, man. You see, as the science just goes into knowledge, man. Okay, and it says, "Who's adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and the wearing of gold, or of putting on apparel." Okay, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, all right, the spirit, in which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price. Okay, and now what he's going to do, so because that spirit of meekness, okay, and servitude, that's what the Most High values, man. Dealing with his daughters, man. Verse 5, it says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also," all right, now it's going back to the ways of the foremothers, in which, all right, the women have degenerated from. Okay, "For after this manner in old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High." How did they trust in the Most High, man? Their conduct towards their husbands. Okay, "adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. So Apostle Peter is going back to a standard of the holy women of old, even going back to Sarah. Okay, because remember he's writing this to Israelite foreigners. Okay, what would be considered Greeks. He's writing to them. Okay, so they was in these cultures because you had cultural norms within Greek culture, man. Okay, the way women dressed, it was way different than the ways of the foremothers, man. So the Apostle Peter is establishing the standard, okay, amongst the women that believe, and he's basing it on what, man? The foremothers in which, all right, this society, the women, our women have degenerated from it. Okay, I'll get one more. Let's get this. We in the book of James, so we all have to move according. We begin to move according to the way of our forefathers and foremothers, which we all degenerated from, man, under the cultural norms of the West. Okay. All right, let's go here. This is James 5:10. It says, "Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience." Okay, so it was a norm. All right, it was a cultural norm for our forefathers, that they would suffer particular things. All right, on behalf, of their integrity. It's a thing. Our forefathers, they kept their integrity in the midst of wicked societies, man. That was norm. That was a cultural norm. That was an expectation. Okay, on Israelite men to stand with integrity, man. Okay, it says, "Behold, we count them happy which endure. You have heard of the patience of Job." Now it goes to a specific man, the patience of Job, "and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender mercy." Okay, so you go to the story of Job. We read these accounts. It's really supposed to create cultural norms in our mind. All right, well, scripture say, "Blessed is he that readeth." When we read these things, these accounts, they set expectations for how we are to act when we're tried, when we're tested, because we come into the time of testing, Jacob's trouble. Okay, but we, all right, have these examples on how we should be. Lord, will I do a separate lesson on that, quick lesson, just dealing with that, man, going to Jacob's trouble. But when we read these scriptures, man, these scriptures should establish cultural norms, okay, on how we should act and behave. Because remember, you go into the definition of cultural norm, it's expectations and rules that guide the behavior. It's expectations and rules that guide the behavior, man. So when we read these scriptures, man, they set expectations and rules that should guide our behavior. Okay, so that was the point. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters were edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutation, hopefully, shalom.